a major battle to hold on to our housing that's affordable to us.
At this Tenants' Rights Forum, sponsored by the community-based organizing project Empower DC, moderate and low-income district residents share their struggles to stay in the city despite substantial increases in the cost of housing.
Trying to make it out here, trying to pay my own rent, and it's been a struggle. My rent went up this past March from $6.95 to $7.15, and I'm in an efficiency.
Renters struggle not only to hold on to affordable housing, but also to make affordable housing livable.
The roaches wake me up. They've crawled on me. I've had to pluck them off my ears, off my legs.
For the whole of last year, there was no heat in that building.
When it rains, our building floods, our hot water goes off.
Many landlords whose rental units stand alongside high-priced luxury condominiums have raised their rents as high as the market would allow, forcing long-term residents into poor neighborhoods or out of the city altogether. Those who remain often find themselves paying luxury rates for very non-luxury spaces.
Stand up if you have housing code violations and your rent has been raised in the last year.
According to housing rights advocate Farah Fossey, if your building has substantial numbers of housing code violations, the landlord cannot legally raise the rent.
For folks who have had these kind of problems, stand up if you've notified the owner or management. Okay, good. So hopefully everyone's standing, because we can't expect the problems to get fixed if you don't notify the owner or the management of the building, right?
But many tenants don't report code violations because they fear further rent increases or that they'll be forced out.
Also, most of the tenants knew that the building was having a serious code violations, to mention rodents and pest infestations, peeling, paints, leaking ceiling, no working visible emergency exit lights, and yet they were all afraid that they would be displaced if they called the inspectors in.
Latinos are particularly vulnerable to this threat.
And the owner threatened us that he said that, if we took that complaint to the courts, that we were going to be forced out.
We sent petitions to the landlord on 2 different occasions, one collectively and the other time individually, and we never received a reply from the landlord.
When a landlord is either unresponsive or threatening, the Office of the Tenant Advocate can help.
We are here to involve ourselves with a property or properties in the city in which there is no decent, safe, or sanitary housing. If you call us and ask us to assist you in getting a building-wide inspection for your entire building, we start the process for government. We come out, we do visual inspections of your property, we file a report with the Department of Consumer and Regulatory Affairs, we follow up, and we are the watchdogs.
But the Office of the Tenant Advocate is limited by restrictions on the number of inspections allowed per year, which is why Empower DC's Linda Leaks believes that the laws must be strengthened if tenants are to be protected.
There are 2 pieces of legislation that I call quality housing legislation. I call it, that's what I call it, quality housing legislation. The 2 pieces of legislation before the City Council right this minute that would require biannual inspection, would give tenants the right to sue in landlord-tenant court. Wow, how revolutionary is that? Give tenants the right to sue in landlord-tenant court.
What was evident to everyone at this listening circle is that tenants must advocate for themselves, for their neighbors, and push for progressive legislation if decent and affordable housing is to be preserved in the District of Columbia. For DC Visions, this is Leanne Scott.